So once again, good morning, everyone. Thanks for your patience. So we just get started right away. Sharing my screen. All right. So welcome once again. My name is Ifyok Yang. I'm the host of this internship. That's the WTech Hub Web Development Internship, cohort 2.0. So these are our first webinar in a series of two webinars, actually, just to let us know what the internship is all about, what is expected from us, the effort we need to put in order to be able to get our desired outcome at the end of the day, right? So we just go straight into what we have. As you can see, I'm already sharing my screen. Just confirm you can see my screen. Okay, so we just get right in. So this is first webinar, like I said, just talking about myself. So my name is Ifyok Inyang, and I'm the host of this internship. I'm a full stack developer at KBL Technologies, and of course, this is my tech stack. I'm a full stack developer, meaning that I do front end and I equally do back end, right? So HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React.js, these are the things I do. TypeScript, Tailwind CSS, Git, and GitHub, API integration, MongoDB for database, PostgreSQL, um, that's for relational database. So we also have MySQL, Node.js, Express.js. These are Express.js is what I use to set up my server in the backend, SQLize and Mongoose, um, ORMs, right? Docker, Nest.js, REST API, Type ORM, WordPress, cPanel, and web hosting. So this is actually my tech stack. This is what I do. And when we talk about front-end web development, it just has to do with things around the user interface, the things that the user gets to see and interact with, right? When we talk about the backend really has to do with business logic. It has to do with communication with the database, setting up security for your website, for your data to protect it. It also has to do with it also has to do with security, right? Security at the back end, communicating with the front end, writing of business logic, saving data to the database, and also retrieving data when it is required, right? So, what's our vision, right? This is WTech Hub, and we actually have a vision for this, internship. So we have that vision of empowering 5,000 young people to be self-employed and employers of labor with high-valued web development skills, thereby setting them up for higher aspirations in their tech career by 2029. That's actually our vision. So I know going through some of the introductions that people made on the group chats, I got to see people asking, are we going to get a job, or will you show us how to get a job, or where to get a job when we are done? Is there going to be certificates and all of that? Yeah, of course. This web development internship is structured in a way that is going to build your confidence, right? When you are done with the internship, it's going to build your confidence to be able to go out there and be self-employed. So we are not building people that will still go to the job market and still be looking for jobs, maybe with certificates like the traditional university style, where you'd finish your school, you have to take your certificates, go around, go to companies, look for where they could employ you. But that's not the plan with WTech Hub. So WTech Hub has looked at the problem, has looked at the gap, and we are coming up with a solution whereby you would finish this internship, you would be confident about your skills, and you would begin to use these skills to get clients. So that is where we are heading to. We are heading to a point where you can be self-employed, you can be a freelancer, you could equally employ others to join you in your team, right? When you are getting to build stuffs like, let's say you are running something like an e-commerce website, for example, maybe for a client, right? So you may not be able to do it alone. Of course, you might get fellow collaborators to work with you. Let's say you're working on a blog website, and of course you need to develop content. Maybe your clients requires you to develop content maybe like every day or every 2 days or every week and all of that. You at this point you now need a content creator who will do all the designs, do the graphic design, do the flyer, and also write the post while you share the post on the website, and also run search engine optimization for those posts. So there's really a whole lot. However, there's a starting point, and that starting point is this empowerment initiative that is brought to you by W Tech Hub, right? So just to let you know that what we are doing, we are not sending out people, we are not graduating people who would go to the job market and still go and be looking for jobs. Well, we are graduating people who will, or we are training people who, when they are done, would be able to be confident with their skills and use it to get clients. All of this we are going to show you how, right? We'll show you how to get clients. We'll show you platforms to, engage people on. We'll show you where you could like be visible, right? Where you can get to tell people about what you do and how you do it. And also part of this internship is also to give you a digital footprint, right? Because in the course of the internship, will you be required, of course, to you'll be required to go on your social media pages or handles and be able to say, oh, today I learned XYZ, and share it, hashtag your friends and all of that. So people get to see what you are doing. They get to see where you are heading to. They get to see when you started, so that tomorrow when you come up and say, oh, I'm a developer, I build stunning websites for clients, and a price that represents value, right? And you tell them about the additional features you're able to give them, right? That actually sets you apart. Okay, so going to the next slide. So the internship structure, right? Maybe you may be asking, or you may be thinking, how is this internship going to be? So the internship is actually structured into two parts, right? Two parts. So there's a first part, which is the free 1 month internship that we've already talked about. There's going to be a free 1 month internship starting on the 14th of September, 2024 to 14th of October, 2024. So that's a month for this free 1 month internship. There's going to be a second part, and that part is going to be paid. So it is a paid advanced masterclass. But you don't need to be afraid when we talk about payment, right? Because I'm going to expose you, I'm going to show you the secrets, the things you need to know, the things that will take you up and set you apart as a web developer, right? And also the value you are going to get after this whole internship, right? When you enroll in the free 1 month, you are consistent, you give your the needed determination, and beyond that, you progress to the advanced master class. At the end of the day, marrying these two together, it's going to be able to launch you into a world of possibilities. Because by 2025, I actually want to launch developers. I want to train developers and launch them into a point of financial freedom, into a point where they could be able to get clients. And 2025, you're already getting clients, and you're already charging them, satisfying them, and making progress in your life, right? So what are you going to learn in the part A? So the part A is a free 1 month internship, like I said. And just to repeat that, so we are going to learn web development with HTML and CSS. HTML and CSS actually forms the background, right? The foundation of web development. You could build a full-fledged website with just HTML and CSS, right? Even though you don't want to use JavaScript. JavaScript is also part of it. JavaScript gives interactivity, right? It brings the logic to the website. However, HTML gives the structure, CSS gives the styling. So look at it in this way. So look at the human body, for example. You have your bones. That's more like the skeletal structure. You equally have the flesh, like your body, right? And you also have the movement, right? Movement, how you move. So for example, if you compare websites to the human body, so the internal skeletal structure that actually gives you that structure of a man, of a person, is is the HTML, can be compared or can be likened to HTML in a website. So for a website, HTML gives it that structure. It gives it that bare bone framework, right? If you want to call it so. Yeah. However, with only the skeleton, nobody likes only the skeleton, of course. So if you see someone, of course, if you see, maybe if you did biology in the secondary school, or biological sciences or so, you must have seen in your laboratories, you must have seen diagram of a skeleton, or you might have seen skeleton that has been built, used for practicals and all of that. So you understand that just seeing that skeleton is not, it doesn't look nice, it doesn't look appealing, it doesn't give life, right? So, but when you now have the flesh, you now have a full human being that has the flesh, so that actually gives beauty. So that's what CSS does. CSS is cascading style sheet, and it brings beauty. It brings, it gives an appealing design to the HTML. That's the base structure, right? Then beyond that, you have the JavaScript. So look, still comparing with a human body, so you know that you're able to move your hand, right? You move your hand up, you move it down. You can, from your there's a ball and socket joint here that's at your arm here, where you could move 360. So like, for example, your head can move down, it can move left, it can turn right, it can go back, and of course you cannot turn your head 360. So that's like the JavaScript part. So the JavaScript describes the motion, right? It gives interactivity, it brings that dynamism into a website, right? So we also talk about domain name and web hosting. We'll talk about this domain name, web hosting. We'll see it in practice. So we also have introduction to WordPress. Then there'll be a live project. So at the end of this 1 month internship, there will be a live project, which is going to be a tribute page. So it's just like this is a single page application, which you are going to build. Of course, we'll talk more about it when the internship actually commences by 14th of September. But just know that there is going to be a live project, something that will be able to show or demonstrate what you have learned so far during the 1 month internship, right? So there's going to be portfolio building also. So in the course of attending the classes, like I said, you would get to build your portfolio, where you would just post it on your social media pages, because it's actually very important to have more like to have a digital footprint. Somebody can look at your page and look at your handle, know that, oh, this is what this person is all about, this is this person's brand, this is what he has been doing for, like, for some time now, and all of that. So that also adds credence and credibility to the fact that you're a web developer, right? Then we look at the next slide here that says what you need for the class. So what do you need for the class in order to come out excellent at the end of this training or at the end of the internship? You actually need a laptop, you need power source, you need internet connectivity. I also encourage you to fully participate in these classes, because it's going to help you. Although we are going to stream live on YouTube, so that at the end of the day, if you miss the class, you would be able to come back and watch what you missed, and be able to cover up. However, we still encourage people to fully participate during the classes. I'm going to talk about the schedule of the class next, so that you get to know how the schedule of the internship will look like and what is required of you. Then we also have prudent time management. Of course, you need to manage your time well, in order to be able to avoid procrastination, put in the work, just be determined, right? Anything you want to achieve in life, it actually takes determination, it takes consistency, it takes courage. That courage gives you that boldness to actually start something. But beyond courage, of course, you need consistency. You need that determination, that fire that will keep you going, right? 1 week has passed, you are still on it, you are pursuing, and you're already in 2 weeks of the training, you are still on it, you have not dropped your zeal, your consistency, right? Third week you are there, fourth week you are there. We give you the final project, you do it, you submit it. So it actually makes you that consistent person that you actually need to be, and at the end launches you into that part of financial freedom, because at the end of the day, that's what web development skills will fetch for you, right? So you could make up to $1,000, and I'm not mincing words, up to $1,000 and more, right? In this, that's after the training, when you've honed your skills and you're able to get clients, all these things I'm going to show you how, right? Because that's the beauty of the whole internship. Just to show you how, there is everything will be revealed to you from the beginning to the end, because I need everyone that partakes in this internship to be able to have, you need to have the technical skills, which is very important. You equally need to have engagement skills. How do you engage with clients? How do you get clients? Where do you get clients from? How do you serve them? Right? Then at the end of the day, client relationship, right? So how do you also make yourself visible, right? How do you get to communicate to people, write proposal to say, oh, this is what I can do, this is how long it can take me to do it, and this is what I charge, right? And also, how can you make more money? And of course, web development is, at the end of the day, things are in dollars, right? Domain name is in dollars, web hosting is in dollars, creating of business emails is in dollars, and every other thing. There's a whole lot, right? So even the charge, right? The charge to build the website, you equally put this in dollars. So at the end of the day, you see that there's a whole lot. And beyond that, there are recurring costs. I'm still going to go to that point. Yeah. So I talked about what you need for the class, laptop. And I remember in one of the groups, somebody asked me, can I use a phone for the training? Okay, so what I would say for the phone is that for the 1 month internship, the part A of the internship, you actually can use a phone. However, it's not going to give you that best learning experience that you require, right? Because you would always have to, minimize, you have to minimize an application, open another one, you have to be shuttling between applications, right? However, if you're making use of a laptop, you can put two applications side by side, and that makes a whole lot of sense and gives you that leverage and gives you that comfortability and convenience to be able to write your codes without having to juggle between different applications on your phone, right? So I would encourage you as much as possible, try to make use of a laptop to participate in this class. All right. So this is the class schedule, right, for part A. So we have it's going to require 8 hours per week. So we have just 4 weeks, right? So 8 hours per week. That's at the end of the day, you're going to have 32 hours. So you require, at the end of the day, you require 32 hours in this internship to come out good, right? So Tuesdays is 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Right. So we actually made this schedule to favor those that are working. So just in case you are working, you already have a paid job. Yeah. So you could take advantage of these evening sessions because it's gonna be in the evenings. So you have Tuesdays, you have Wednesdays, you have Fridays, you have Saturdays. It's gonna be in the evenings. So for those who have full-time jobs, they can be able to go for the jobs. Then at the end of the day, when they come back, they could join the class, right? So Tuesdays is going to be 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. West African time, just in case you are watching from any other part of the world. So for GMT is actually 1700 hours. Yeah, so that's an error there. Instead of 18 hours is 17. It's actually 1700 hours to 1900 hours GMT. That's for GMT, right? So for Wednesdays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. West African time. But for GMT time, depending on your local time that you use, is actually going to be 1700 hours to 1900 hours. Yeah. So Fridays, 6 p.m. To 8 p.m. same time. Saturdays is going to be 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. West African time, which is actually 900 hours to 1100 hours, right? So 8 hours per week, that's what is required, and that's how the schedule of the class goes. Okay. So assessment. So just to give you some level of accountability, because that's actually important. If you are learning, then there has to be some tests, there has to be quizzes in between, there has to be examination, there has to be things to, test your level of knowledge, comprehension, and the ability to follow up with the technical skills that are actually being taught, right? So what would require is that at the end of the class, you would write what you learned, and put on your social media channels. So like I earlier said, or social media pages or um, um, handles, right? Then at the end of the day, you share the link to your friends, let people get to know that, oh, you started an internship. This is what you learned today. You just make a little post, right? And talk about what you learned. So say, for example, maybe you attend a HTML class and let's say that day you learned about HTML document structure. You could write about it, right? So today I learned about HTML document structure, how to structure our HTML files or pages, right? The opening tag, closing tag, you could talk about it. Why do you need a closing tag? Why do you need an opening tag? What's every HTML page always has to start with? It has to start with doc type HTML, and it has a heading, it has a body, and all of that. So you do all of that. You put it on your social media pages. Then for LinkedIn, right? So when you put it on your LinkedIn, we also like you to tag WTech Hub, right? So we also get to see what you are doing and the progress you are making. Then at the end of the day, you would also submit this link on a Google form, which will be provided. So yeah, so that's that for the first class. So let me also state here that learning web development, it takes a little bit of time and commitment, right? However, we have structured this class in a way that you would be able to, if you give that needed consistency that is required after the 1 month internship, because honestly, 1 month is not sufficient to be a full-fledged web developer. 1 month is not sufficient. You need some time. You need some months, like in any other training, any other skill, right? You need some time. First thing is to even learn, understand the language, understand the syntax, understand the design, understand the colors, and at the end of the day, you also need to build something so that you can see the results of all that you've been learning. Then beyond that, you now have to build more. Building more projects strengthens your hand so that you can be able to approach clients, right? So because 1 month will not be sufficient, so we actually have a 3 month masterclass, which will come after the 1 month. And let me tell you, some people would, when they get to hear that, oh, this is going to be a paid masterclass, they say, okay, so let me just attend the free one. I wouldn't continue with the second one. But let me tell you the catch. So the catch is, if you actually want to get, there is more actually in this second phase, because the first phase is not sufficient to give you that confidence, right? It takes time to learn HTML. It takes time to learn CSS. It takes time to learn WordPress. It takes time to even understand domain names. What does it do? How does it work, right? Where do you buy it? How is it managed? What are name servers? There's a whole lot around these things. Web hosting, talk about cPanel. We talk about creating business emails. There's a whole lot which it takes time to learn. So because 1 month is not sufficient to learn this, we actually extended it to say, oh, let's make it 4 months. So with 4 months, we have a curated curriculum that is going to launch you into all that you need, including the business skills, right? The business aspect of it. Because at the end of the day, you have a skill, you only need to know how to sell that skill or how to to sell yourself with that skill so that you'll be able to get the needed rewards that we are talking about. So we are going to deep dive into WordPress development in the masterclass. And that's, for me, this is really, really, really interesting, because at the end of the day, you just pay a little thing, which is 25,000 Naira, which is equivalent to $16, just in case you're not familiar with the Naira, maybe you're not in Nigerian. $16 or 25,000 Naira, that's what you pay, not every month, but once. It's a one-time payment that you make for the remaining 3 months of the internship. So remember, I said the internship is 4 months. First month is the free. Second 3 months is the paid. So the free comes at no costs. However, you're going to learn every using the schedule that we have given, 8 hours per week. You're going to be taught intensely. You're going to be taught. But beyond that, the remaining 3 months, you just need to pay a one-time fee of 25,000 Naira. So what are you going to get in that 25,000 Naira? Maybe you may be asking. So let's talk more about that. So we also have responsive web design. Of course, you learn that. Free domain name. So domain names come at a fee. Domain names are not free, right? So let me show you an example. Okay, so just hold on. So let me show you. Let me just show you something. Okay, so let's go to Namecheap. Just want to show you domain name. So say you want to register a domain name. I don't know. So let's just say let's say my domain. Let's assume we want to register a domain name, right? So let's say my new domain, because you actually have to choose the name of a domain. So let's say my new domain.org, for example, right? And I do my search. So let's see what happens. Okay. So it's loading. Yeah. So you can see. So my new domain.org is telling you that it costs $7.48 per year, right? So that's to tell you that domain names are not free. You can equally see my new domain.com. So you see how much it is. You can see, different top level domains, right? So the same name, my new domain dots different TLDs or top level domains. So top level domain is just this.org. This org is actually a top level domain. So anything that comes after the name of your domain, anything that comes after that dot is actually called a top level domain. So right, so you can see .org costs $7.48, .com, the same name, .com costs this. My new domains costs this, .org costs this, .net costs $10. You can see $2 per year. .xyz .me is 2.98, 310, and so on, right? So you see the cost, just to show you that domain names are not free. However, let me go back to the PowerPoint. So in the class, what are you going to get? You're going to get a free domain name, right? You get a free domain name. You equally get free web hosting. So web hosting equally comes at a cost, because it's not free to host your website, right? So let me equally show you where I just came from. So let's say this Namecheap. There are other hosting platforms, right? There's Hostinga, there's Bluehost, there is Good host that GoDaddy. There's a whole lot. If you check online, you see a whole lot of popular web hosting sites, and you equally see what their prices are, right? So at the end of the day, you see their pricings. So let's go to hosting, right? So let's go to shared hosting. There are different types of hosting. We have shared hosting, dedicated hosting. and a whole lot. So let me just show you. So this is shared hosting, right? So shared hosting is just where you get to host your website with other people equally hosting their website. So there's a server. That server does not serve your website alone. So that server serves your website, it serves other people's website. So that's what we actually call shared hosting. Okay. So you can see here, Stellar. So if you go for Stellar, if you go for this Stellar option, you're going to pay $1.48 per month, and you will save 67% on the first year, and you're going to renew. Do you see this place? You renew, it renews at $44.88 per year, right? So it's not free. You can pay the first one, and at the end of the 12th month, you're going to pay 17.76. So if you decide to pay for a year at once, you're going to pay 17.76 for the first year. However, when you want to renew for the second year, you're going to pay $44.88. So if you go for the Stellar Plus, so and you can see the benefits, right? Just it shows you already what it has. So you're able to get domain name to host on this web hosting plan. You equally have 3 websites, so it can only allow you to host maximum of 3 websites, not more than that. It gives you 20 gigabyte SSD, 30 mailboxes, website builder, AI tools, right? But now, when you look at the Stellar Plus, you see Stellar Plus, you actually pay more, of course. But at the end of the day, look at the benefit. You have domain name, you have unlimited websites, right? So here is the catch, right? So let me show you. You can, let me just show you how you could, make some money. Unlimited websites. So for example, say you have one client, right? So definitely the client will pay for domain name. Of course, you need to get a domain name for your business. The client will equally pay you for web hosting. And you will tell the client that, oh, this is what it costs to host your website. Because at the end of the day, when you build a website, it needs to be hosted somewhere for everyone to see. So there's going to be hosting, right? The client will pay. Then you equally pay, the client will equally pay for building the website, right? You build the website, the client will pay. However, that building of website is a one-time fee because you don't build websites every time. So when you build it once, it is hosted and it becomes the website, right? However, you charge for web hosting and you equally charge for domain name. So domain names are not for life. They are renewed yearly. Web hosting is equally renewed yearly, right? So for example, let's say you subscribe for this web hosting. That's the Stellar Plus that tells you that, oh, you can actually host unlimited website. And let's say you've gotten the money to host this, to get this plan, to subscribe to this web hosting plan from the first client, right? Then when you have subsequent clients, you just come to this same hosting. So you are still going to charge the new clients for web hosting because, of course, his website has to be hosted somewhere for people to see, right? So you're going to charge the second clients, right, for hosting his website. But you would come to this hosting plan that that the first client has already paid for, and you will just host his website here, right? And it means you have some excess money, right? You equally charge him for your service. And remember that these things are renewed yearly. So because they are renewed yearly, you equally put in your service fee. So say, for example, maybe a client comes to you and say, oh, I just need a website that will showcase my business, right? I need a professional website that will showcase my business. I don't want, it's not going to be a blog website where I'll be uploading content every week or something. Just build it once and let it stay there. Then I'm talking about the clients now. The client says, oh, I just need you to build this website. I will not be updating anything at any point in time. Just let it be there, and from there I can be able to show my friends, show my business partners that, oh, this is my website and this is what I do, right? So maybe that's what the client comes to tell you, meaning that you are not going to be uploading things every month or every day or every week, right? It's something that you just build and host it once, and renewal happens yearly. Remember, renewal happens yearly. So how do you make money from these clients? You have already made money when you got his or her, you went into a deal with the client and you built the website and you hosted it. So in the following year, what happens? The client will need to renew his web hosting and renew his domain name. So at this point, what you can do is you just add your service fee, right? You just add your service fee. Say the domain renewal is, of course, you've seen here, let's say you choose this Stellar Plus plan. So domain renewal is $68.88. So you charge the first client, that's in the following month, right? You charge the first client of with the $68 for renewal of the web hosting. You equally charge for renewal of the domain name. Then you equally put your service fee. So that's one client. Say you have like 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20 clients as you grow. So you just need this one-time renewal. So if you get a renewal from one client, you've covered for all the clients. Yet you are going to charge all the clients for renewals, right? So you can just get $68.88 from one client. You get the $68.88 from other clients, and you will definitely not use their renewal fee because you've already renewed once since all their websites are hosted on one plan. Then that $68.88 or $70, call it so, is just an extra money. And it's not just that. Like I said, you also charge your service fee. So depending on how much you want to charge the client, but we'll talk more about that in the paid master class, right? There's really a whole lot. You can make more than, I can tell you can make more than $1,000 monthly, because as your client list increases, as you keep building for clients, satisfying customers, maybe they keep referring you, or you keep maybe from your the way you're trying to keep yourself visible, you're able to get more people come to you, trust your service, trust your design, trust your technical skill. You only grow. And with time, you would be making more than $1,000 monthly. This is something that is real and it's sure to happen. But it depends on you. It just depends on your determination, consistency, and your ability to say, yes, this is what I want to do. I want to land myself in a place where at least I'll be earning in dollars, at least to start with, because many of our local currencies, including the naira and other currencies, are not really stable. And you know that if you're able to earn in dollars, then you convert your local currency, you know how much that amounts to, right? So yeah, so just to go ahead, I just digressed a little to show you. So we also have cPanel. cPanel. We are going to teach you about cPanel. We have unlimited business emails creation at no cost. So the cPanel is just like a set of tools or a dashboard, right? Where you're able to manage your domain. You're equally all the domains you have, right? If you have more than one, you're equally able to manage your web hosting from your cPanel. You can install WordPress, manage it, build sites, and a whole lot. So let me show you, just to show you something. So when I talk about unlimited business emails creation at no cost, let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so we are here. So let me show you Zoho. Let me just show you Zoho first. Zoho email pricing. Okay, let's see. I hope this is what I'm looking for. Okay, so we are here. This is Zoho, right? So Zoho, does a lot. They have CRM, right? Customer relationship management softwares that people come on board to register for. They equally have a mail managing platform, right? Which is this. So if you have a business email, like let's say you have a domain name, maybe my company or my domain name.com, you can actually come to Zoho and create business emails. So business emails like maybe info@mydomain.com, admin@mydomain.com, or enquiries@mydomain.com, or any other thing that you want to do. So that's what you can actually do here at Zoho. But that's one of the things you can do at Zoho. So look at Zoho's pricing, right? Like I said, these things are not free. So look at Zoho's pricing. So Zoho charges you 416 naira You can change it to dollars, and so you can see the equivalent. So if you change it to dollar here, already you see $1, right? But if you change it to naira, you see 416 naira. So depending on what currency you want to pay with, right? So, but let's talk about this naira. So you see, it's 416 naira that Zoho charges one user per month, and it is actually billed annually, right? So you can have the option of 5 gig per user. So for 5 gig per user, you are going to pay 416 naira. But if you switch, let's switch to 10 gig per user. So you see 10 gig is just the space. Because, as you keep doing correspondence, you send emails, you receive emails, you delete emails, you have spam emails. That's spam section for emails where any spam mails that comes to you actually, stays there. So all of those things consume space, right? So Zoho is telling you that they're going to give you 5 gig for one user. So let's say you have 10 emails. So just imagine how many that's going to be. So, or that's how much. So it's going to give you 5 gig per user, and that'll be 416 naira. But however, if you choose 10 gig, then it's going to charge you 520 naira. This is mail premium. So you see that mail premium actually has more, right? 50 gig mail storage and all of that. So you can go through the website and you will see all that Zoho does. However, let me show you something. Let me show you something. So let me sign into I actually use Namecheap for my web hosting. I like it. In fact, I love it because they have excellent customer support, right? At any point in time, you are stuck, you can equally just chat. This one, you don't need to raise a ticket, right? You don't need to raise a ticket, wait for some hours, or immediately you have a challenge, just go to their help center. And before you know it, someone is already there to assist you. So excellent service. I like Namecheap. Okay, so we are here. I want to show you something about cPanel, right? That's what I want to show you. So let me go into my cPanel. Yeah, so let me just go into my cPanel. I want to show you something, how you could create free business emails, because all of these things you need to know it. These are the secrets you need to know. Of course, you wouldn't tell your client that you are creating these things for free, but you can equally charge your client. But in charging your client, you also need to be aware of competitive prices out there. Although you are doing it free, but you can charge your client, but you need to be aware that a platform like Zoho gives a user 400 or charges a user 416 naira per month, right, to host their email. So when you are doing your own charge, or if you change to USD, that's $1, right, per user. So when you are charging your client, you equally make sure that it is competitive, so that it wouldn't look like your pricing is actually too much, and the clients can just say, oh, why do I need to pay this amount when I can actually go to Zoho or any other email service platform and get this at a lower cost. So these are some of the things and even more that you would get to learn, right? Okay, so let me show you. This is actually cPanel. Let's go to email, accounts. Yeah, so it's loading. Okay, so this is my email account dashboard, right? So let's create. Say, for example, we want to create an email. So you're going to choose the domain name, because I have some domain names here. So you actually choose the domain name that you want to create the email for. Let's say maybe mygradscholar.com. You put in your username there, any username you want. Then you can have the option of setting password and all of that. Then look at optional settings. Let me show you. So do you see here in these optional settings that you can make the storage space unlimited, right? However, Zoho gives you, there's no unlimited. Let me see if they have an unlimited plan. Uh, yeah, I'm not sure. What I'm just seeing is 50 gig, 10 gig, 5 gig, while this one you have to contact them, right? So, but here, just to show you that here on your cPanel, you can make it unlimited. So the user or the client can just keep using the email over and over, over and over. And, the space is actually there. Or if you want to choose this storage space option, you can, this MB, that's megabyte. So you can actually change it to gigabyte, right? So do you see? So you can create this email with unlimited space or space up to even 250 gig for your client. So these are some tips, some tricks that you need. Then you can now create, click on create, right? So let's say, okay, I need to enter a password. So let's just enter something anonymous just to show you. I'm going to delete the email because I don't need it, but for now, let's just create. So it's creating, right? Okay. Success. So JHGHJ. So that's what I created. So let's see, JH. So this is it, right? So you can see 0 byte of 250 gig already. So here you can check email, you can manage, you can connect devices. So you can set the email up on the client's phone, either phone or laptop or whatever, even on your Gmail account. If I believe all Android phones, including Apple, for those using iPhones, they have these Gmail applications on their phone. So from that Gmail application or Microsoft Outlook, any of them, you can connect this email to their phones. You can help set it up on their phones so that they're able to receive emails directly on their phones and can respond to emails directly on their phones, right? So this makes a whole lot of sense. And for me, it's electrifying, right? When you look at it, the things you can do, and you're paying just 25,000 naira or $16 equivalent, and you are learning all of this, because these are the things you actually need in order to be able to have that confidence to engage with your clients, right? Okay, so let's go ahead. Okay, unlimited business emails creation at no cost. We also have expert session on Upwork. So we actually have a UK-based Upwork experts that will equally give us all that is required to succeed as a freelancer using Upwork. So Upwork is just a platform where you could get there, register your, create an account, and you're able to put in your skills, right? You put in your skills, you also put in how much you charge per hour and all of that. Then on another section, you'll be able to see proposals, more like clients saying that, oh, okay, I need a WordPress developer to work on this for me. These are the features I need, this, and this, how much I'm willing to pay, right? So you would be able to bid for the proposals, and at the end of the day, you'd be able to get the job, right? That's to work for the client. So we have a UK-based Upwork expert that is going to talk to us how to set up your account, how to find clients, how to make your account, visible, like more like people would get to see it and would like to work with you, because he has actually had a success story using Upwork, right? He has been working there for many years now, and he has made so much money in thousands of dollars. So this is a unique opportunity, right? This is what the masterclass has and promises, and it's something that you need to prepare. So, when you look at the benefits versus what you need to stake, at the end of the day, you just find out that you're going to make so much more by taking that bold step to continue to the advanced masterclass, right? We're also going to have an expert session on SEO, that's search engine optimization. We have an expert that will equally take us through search engine optimization. And of course, search engine optimization is very critical to client websites, because at the end of the day, people want their website to show in Google search, search engines, Bing, and all of that. So we would have an expert session with an SEO expert that would take us through that. So next thing, we also talk about how to sell yourself as a developer. It's going to be very practical, honestly. At the end of the day, we are going to build an e-commerce website, and we are going to integrate payments there, right? So whether it's Stripe, Paystack, whatever, we are going to show you how to do that payment integration in the course of building that e-commerce website, because that's the project that we have at the end of the training. We are going to build it together. You would code it, you would design it. Equally, I would design, share my screen of of course, you look at it, you equally follow after. Then at the end, there'll be a final project which everyone will get to do. But this building an e-commerce site is going to be in the class, right? I would show you in the class. There's going to be Okay, next is the business part of web development, and there also be a certificate. So I saw people asking questions like, would there be a certificate at the end of the training and all of that? So, of course, there will be a certificate at the end of the training. So, I think with this, that's makes the whole internship very robust and something that would actually launch you into a lifetime of a fortune, right? Okay, so this time for questions and answers. So I want to know, are there any questions? Okay. Okay, so maybe you can put your question on the chat box if you have question. Let me see. Okay. All right. Yeah. So yeah, thanks a lot, King David. So I think that brings us to the end of the webinar. Really appreciate your time for staying through. And we would have another session of webinar that was going to be next week, Tuesday. So let's prepare and do have a wonderful weekend. Thank you very much for joining. Bye for now.